Luck. All right. Check out these levels. Got some yellow, trying not to go into red. Ooh, what a jam.
Drip, 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 drip.
Hey!
You can smoke a spliff with a clip, but there's still no mountain high enough or wide enough to touch the naughty, nappy, nasty nigga, the nasty, trashy, whole happy pappy. That's happy to be nappy. Me and them rock, win spots in flocks and groups and troops with timber boots and gels.
It's one of my favorite movies ever, man.
Damn. When the wheel I got wanting competition ain't dope. Beat you, break you, broke you, smoke you, take you, send you to your little group on mute. Sooner or later, he wanna flip, tell him full, semi half with a dip, and all that other Ringling brother shit.
Man, what a freaking movie. Good morning, Monday, July 3rd.
Drew in the morning.
Yeah, here we are. Yet another wonderful Monday morning. Levels are looking good. People are looking good. Let's go find Eli. Where's Eli? He's looking good. Hey, you got that grimace shake over there?
Nope.
No, I mean, some McCafe, but no grimace shake. What are you going to do? Oh, my gosh. And look what just walked in. Like a cool breeze. Right at 9 a.m., 9:01 on the dot. Everybody's favorite person to listen to. Apparently, I'm not that good. You are the real Jim here.
We already knew that.
Whatever. Just sit your butt down.
Look at me, I'm 4th of July also, right?
I know, man. Look, we're good to go. You
4th
got
of
you,
July ready.
I got me.
Let's try to keep this camera. I feel like this is a scary angle on this side.
What are you talking about? That one over there?
This one, at least you can see, yeah, because this is like.
So no white.
No wide?
Look at my chunk. It's fine. I look the way I look.
Look, you want me to get in there? Look, where's the...
Perfectly okay with it.
Oh, the face thing isn't working now, is it?
What are you trying to do?
Oh, yeah, where it zooms in on her face. Anyway, good morning, honey.
Good morning.
Drew in the morning.
Oh, you need some volume on your headphones? Well, so as you know what's great? We need to start thinking about a whole other audience now, honey.
Why?
Can you hear that okay? Is that too loud?
No, it's
Is
great.
little precious ears okay?
Oh my goodness.
Little precious
Are you
on our heads?
placating me this early in the morning?
Yeah.
Why a whole different audience?
Because we got a whole bunch of people who downloaded the podcast version of this.
Oh no, does that mean they really like you?
No, it means they really like you. baby.
I'm only on like an episode.
I know, but what it means also is that people can't see us interacting with each other. So I'm sitting here like picking my nose, listening to Naughty by Nature. People who are listening are like, I wonder what they're doing. That's really boring. So we have to start thinking about the people that are driving on road trips in their cars like we did this weekend.
They can't see me kicking you.
No, you're gonna have to make a noise. Every
sound?
Time. Yeah, like every time.
Like Nola getting shushed at Hamilton this weekend.
She did get shushed. Our
That
daughter
was
got shushed.
funny. She was totally jamming and excuse me. Can you stop that?
Can you stop? That's
Can
what the
you
lady.
stop?
Can you stop?
She was like, "What? Hey, I get it. They
I
didn't
get it
come.
too.
They didn't come to hear her sing.
And a lady behind me was mouthing all the words.
Well, mouthing is fine. She
No,
was-
but you could hear it. You could hear like.
Oh, people are having a good time.
Giving away my shot. Like that the whole time. I was like, oh.
I was a little with Fleet towards the end of it. The second half, I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
Well, yeah, because we listened to Hamilton the whole way up there.
Yes.
And then we got there. These
And-
are tickets that we bought pre-COVID.
2 years ago.
Finally decided. They came back to San Antonio. They had a 2-week run. We saw them on the second to their last performance.
I think they were a little tired.
Boy, did it show.
That's not true. It was great. It was great. It just it kicked off a little.
They had to get their energy, man.
Yeah.
I feel like when they started, they weren't as
Enthused.
yeah. But
It took a minute.
They got going. Anyway, hi.
Right after Nola got shushed, so she carried them for the first song. What is that?
That's all loud, dude. Oh
I'm
well.
glad you guys are parents that recognize that your kids were at fault.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She should not have been singing, and we told her beforehand because she loves the music, and we were jamming in the car, and I was like, "Get it out of your system now, because as soon as we get there, you can't do that. People don't want to hear you."
Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to find.
Oh, it was right around the time that you spilt that cocktail too.
Why are you not even, dude?
You spilt the whole cocktail all over someone else's
No,
seat.
ma'am. I put my cup down because you wanted me to take pictures. And you're like, oh, take a picture of us with this, because like if there's no picture, it doesn't happen. So I put my cocktail down right on the arm of the seat, and I was taking pictures, and you're reviewing, and our little man, our helpless little man knocked it over all over the damn
That helpless
chair.
little man got in trouble last night. So I have family over, and
By family, let's quantify this.
I've got my brother and my sister and my mother all at the house, and my stepdad
And
my husband's girlfriend.
who?
My husband. Sorry. So wait a minute. No. That's not what I meant. My brother's girlfriend.
You saw her?
And,
She's a bit, hey, Sancho, use the back door. What's wrong with you? Don't come in there.
I'm not supposed to know. No, my brother's girlfriend and their daughter, all very great. It's so
hold
good
on,
to have
let's go over this
everybody in
again.
the family.
How many are at the house?
Okay, so let's just do a head count. So it's 2.
Hold on. No, go 1 by 1. What do you got?
5.
Okay, ready? Go.
Okay, it's my mom and my stepdad,
Who else?
my sister,
Who else?
my brother and his girlfriend.
Okay, who else? I'm just gonna sit here and ding this a billion times. There's how many are in our house?
And the girlfriend.
And the girlfriend.
Yeah.
There's like 11.
There's not 11 people in the house.
Me, you, 2 kids,
Okay.
brother, girlfriend, baby,
Yeah.
mom, dad, sister.
10. There's 10. It's okay. We're having fun.
Yeah, man. Welcome to South Texas, dog.
We're having a good time. And anyway, my son was kind of having he was jumping on the couch, and he wouldn't stop jumping on the couch. I don't have a problem with him acting wild. I have a problem with him jumping on the couch eating Oreos because my couch is white. And
Hold on. Hey, say that word again.
No.
Where's our
Oreos?
friend? No. Where's our friend when we need her?
Oh, you're
Ready?
talking about
Go.
they make
Go
fun
say
of me.
it. Go.
No, I don't want to say it now.
Come on.
White.
White.
You say white.
White.
No, how do you normally say it?
I don't say white.
Yeah, it's white.
Like WITE.
How
I
do
don't
you
say
say
wh-
it?
I say white. Like who? What? What are
White.
you wearing?
Whatever.
Whatever.
So, whatever. The Oreos and the couch, I
It's
wasn't having it.
Whataburger,
So I had
not
it.
Whataburger.
Anyway, moving on. He got in trouble. And then Drew came to his defense. You can't expect him to understand what's happening. I said, yes, I can expect him to hear me say get off the couch.
Whatever.
You got to
dude.
support me.
Whatever.
Support me when I'm getting mad at them.
Listen,
it's
hold
not,
on.
It's not often.
I was trying to download this soundbite and I couldn't download it. Hold on, let me get through this commercial with Adobe Acrobat.
You have
and
a
then
commercial?
you got to hear this. You got to hear this amazing soundbite. It's gonna take 26 seconds after this commercial. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
You're looking sporty spice this morning.
I was trying to be patriotic before I go to the gym.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
And tell me what you think. 10 seconds. Tell me what you think about these sounds. You ready? I'm gonna unmute. You're gonna hear the last. There we go.
Is that a clip of you in the bathroom?
No, that's
Stop. Just stop. Stop that right now.
Drew in the morning.
I love that sound clip, man. That's so good. Yes, that's gonna get some money in there. So we have a lot to talk about this morning. We had some really.
What
good...
do we have to talk about? I thought it was going to
Oh
be
my
slow,
God.
smooth,
No.
casual.
No.
No. No.
You want to talk about something funny?
Sure.
You want to kick me under a table right now just to get it
Out of my system?
out of your system?
What is it?
Dude, you ready?
No.
I need a sound clip for champagne problems.
Oh, no. Don't talk about anything dumb. It's already dumb. I already
It's
know.
not-
What is it?
What am I going to talk about?
I don't know. Champagne
So apparently I have an opinion, Eli. I don't know if you know this or not. I have an opinion, and I voiced my opinion in a public forum last
God,
week.
here we go. I was bothered.
Why? Because I can't have an opinion?
No, you're allowed to have an opinion.
Everybody gets an opinion except for
Here's
me.
my thing: is that like you shouldn't complain about.
Why? What? Fuck that. Why not?
You shouldn't complain when it comes to certain things.
Like
it
what?
just-
Like food quality? Like service?
Yeah, I think it was
like
the way
service.
you did it. That was my problem.
Shall
It's the
we?
way
Shall
you-
we read?
Oh no. We really
Let's
shouldn't
read.
read.
Let's read from the tales of Drew. In this segment, we like to say
No.
things that really grind my gears. So here's what happened, Eli. Third party. I said something on an unofficial group chat that said, hey, there's a lot more people here now, and we've seen it affect the food quality and the service quality, but yet dues are going up. Does anyone want to talk about the elephant in the room? And so that's all he said. That wasn't...
And then what happened? Tell us what happened.
Okay, you want to know
Mr.
really? Look,
Stirring
I
the
can't
pot?
put this on camera because I got to protect the people that said it, but holy moly. My text messages blew up with people side chatting me saying, oh my God, I'm so glad finally somebody said something. Oh, where can I launch complaints? And good job saying this. And who do I talk to about this? And I have all these messages, right? All these, the camera's, right. I have all these messages from people. And I was like, hey, I'm not going to say anything. Don't worry about it. But what was crazy was the amount of people that text me on the side, but refuse to say something in a public forum.
Yeah,
And I
their
even have-
husbands and wives are probably kicking them under the table.
I even have one in here that said, I totally agree with you, just not on the group chat. And then have other people like, man, that's awesome. We're rolling over here. And
So here's my issue: is that I normally take things straight to the source. So I'm not going to complain on a forum, on a chat that's going to get everybody all wild.
Well, I was
and
just asking other
it's
people.
as simple as I was unhappy with the quality of the food, and let me take that up with management.
But see, but then even that was out of context.
And I'm not
because
gonna-
I'm not unhappy with the food. I'm just unhappy with the
But
selection.
that's not what you said on the chat.
Well,
And
now
so
it's a
that can
fucking
be,
thing,
It can
and
be
people are all
skewed, and
rowdy.
so now people are spitting in your food. And I taste your food, so there we
now
go.
they're spitting in your food. that you're-
Everybody's just spitting in food now.
Anyway, that was fun. I thought I could
Well,
launch.
I didn't think.
I
it
thought
was
I could
fun.
launch a
The
little
whole-
comment, and apparently, no. Don't rock the boat, Drew. Stay in your swim lane, Drew.
I just think you should not. You should just be like, hey, today's great. We have another day. Look how great this is.
Well, that was some drama.
I don't want to complain about stuff anymore.
You don't?
No.
You know times are rough down here. I mean, it's hard to complain. You never know what's going to happen. You can't honk at people
No,
anymore.
you can't honk at people. You can't look at people sternly. It's
I
the whole
know.
thing.
I know.
You can
Stop them.
you
I
can
know.
get shot.
I saw some,
Actually, I don't even know if that's really happening here. I know it's happened in other places, but I think twice about.
I'm waiting for some little.
Although people honk at me all the time.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, lady.
No, it's like, hey, stay in your lane, lady. You're not paying attention while you're driving.
You're like, oh, gee, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Oh.
Good looking out.
And I'm smiling and
I
waving.
didn't see that light
I
turn
must
green.
know them. And no, they're like, get off the road.
What are we doing for July 4th? We just watched
Oh.
Hamilton tonight. We're gonna watch. Are you ready for this?
What
Look,
are we watching?
Eli, my movie critic extraordinaire. I want to see his face when I say what I'm about to say. Are you ready? Okay. It's 4th of July week. It is 4th of July weekend.
Which movie?
Well, hold on.
Independence Day.
No, God damn it! Stop!
What?
Don't jump the gun. No.
That's the movie.
Okay, you ready? You ready? Let's see. Oh, it's a
We're
good one.
looking at you now.
This is a good one, and you're not going to find it on a list of things that you should watch for July 4th. However, I believe that it is one of the most great American stories.
Best in show.
No, you know what? I'm gonna do you one better. You can't see my screen, can you?
Not right now.
Okay. No, you.
Oh, me?
I'm gonna play something from the soundtrack.
Okay.
You ready?
Quickly.
Oh, dude. Stand by. You ready?
Has Eli seen this movie?
I guarantee you he knows this movie.
Okay.
All the movies.
All
okay.
of them?
Okay, you ready? You ready? Before you say anything, let's let it play, and then let's give some silence and see if anyone else can figure this out. You ready?
Okay.
But you tell me if you know it, okay? Here it comes. Wait for it. Your head's everywhere, right? You're like, what is it? What is it? Don't say it if you know it. Just give me the thumbs up when you think you have it.
Oh, I know it.
Ah, what the? It's so loud.
Sorry.
You don't know it.
I do.
Tell me that is not one of the best American tales right there. Oh, I want to cry just hearing it, dude.
I feel like I have an idea.
Oh my god, dude.
Do you know it?
Can you
Eli,
pick?
do you know it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it intimately.
Yeah.
Intimately.
It chokes
Are you
you up.
crying?
Yes, he is. He is.
He's emotional.
He is.
It's
That-
an emotional. I
it's-
remember this movie.
That is one of the best tales, and I'm scared to show it to our kids.
I don't think
not
that's appropriate.
because of the violence, but because of the sadness and the heartbreak.
I don't think
of
they're going
what
to sit
that
through.
is.
I don't think they're going to.
Seminal pieces of cinema.
I totally.
they're
Eli
not
saying
gonna
it's a
sit
similar
through-
piece of cinema. I mean, it is like that is.
But it's 4 hours long.
No, it's not.
How long is it?
No, it's not. You don't even know what it is.
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna let you answer. What
Okay.
camera? Zoom in on Jess. All right, you ready? Let's see.
Okay.
You're in the hot seat.
I am, because if it's wrong, I'm going to feel silly.
You go.
The Last of the Mohicans.
The Last of the Mohicans. Yes.
See? I knew what it
Aw.
was. And it's very long.
Honey, we're meant to be.
Actually,
Is
I
everybody
heard
just gonna
you.
cough all
I-
morning? Is that what we're doing? Right
Yeah, I know. My allergies are a little.
All right, let's see here. It's not. It's an hour and 52 minutes, dude. Anyway, oh god, what a movie though. I think that's a great 4th of July movie. I really do.
Great pick.
It really is. It's so good, but it's so sad.
I think that one, Michael Mann. Michael Mann's made great movies. That's his best.
You think that's Michael Mann's best movie?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, dude, Heat.
Still.
Oh,
Last of the
oh God, I don't know. Heat or Last of the Mohicans.
No, but you're talking about.
Oh, this show could quickly turn into just a movie
know.
review show. Anyway,
Moving on.
Last of the Mohicans. We're gonna
Yeah.
movie night that thing tonight, and people better not talk. I'm that guy that if we're sitting in the room,
Oh, no. honey.
don't talk. Like, don't talk. The
Fleet
director, he's fine. You instigate, and everyone else instigates. Just don't talk. They didn't film the movie to be like, oh, I wonder if this is gonna sound good with some other sub dialogue happening while people are texting on their phones in a living room in 30 years from now. No. Enjoy it as it's meant to be seen.
Does that mean you're going to make it really loud?
I'm gonna make it. No, I'm gonna make it audibly correct,
It gets so loud.
orally accurate. Anyway,
Orally accurate.
yes, like ears, oral, AU. Not
My
O.
mind went
yeah,
somewhere else.
Yeah, you're pretty orally accurate. Hi. Should I go back to that moaning and groaning?
No. No.
Okay,
no.
speaking of moaning and groaning, let's talk about Donald Trump. Let's talk about our wonderful ex-president. Are you ready for this one? This is a good one. Are you
Am I
ready?
looking at?
Do you know what I'm going to talk about, Eli?
No.
Oh, boy. I've got 2 girls, right? I've got 2 daughters.
You guys have 2 girls.
Yes. Well, yes.
Together.
Together.
Yes.
Yes.
We have
yes.
2 girls.
Yes.
We
There's
made
some things
children.
you just don't think of when you have children. You're just immediately out of your mind unless you are a weird human being.
Why? What's happening?
Former President Donald Trump made comments,
Oh.
according to a staffer.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
The comments are used by Taylor to highlight almost daily instances of sexism in the Trump White House. It's not a healthy workplace for women, the senior female official told the writer. Aide said that he talked about Ivanka Trump's breasts, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with her. What the
Is that an accurate? Like, who said this?
This multiple people inside the Trump White House. John Kelly, his former chief of staff, decorated general, right, retold the story in visible disgust. He looked at them and said Trump was a very, very evil man. John Kelly even leaned over to the president and reminded him that he was talking about his daughter. Who does that, dude?
It's almost like you can't believe it.
You can't. You can't.
But
Agree with that.
here's the thing is that I feel like with that administration, it's been a constant, I can't believe it. There's no way that's really happening.
It's
I
true.
refuse to believe that could possibly be real.
But it's all coming
And
out
it's
now with multiple
over and
people.
over again.
Dude, the ex-press secretary comes out yesterday on an interview and says, "Hey, I saw him. That stuff that you were talking about where he was showing off, highly classified documents. I saw him do that multiple times. He had zero regard for that. So you can't believe it. So here's the other thing you can't believe. Oh man, I got to figure out how to cast the TV behind me. My favorite thing that I've seen, I tweeted it last night, was hilarious.
But that's not real.
Exactly. That's the point, is that it's not real, and I know it's not real, but there are things that you and I are talking about right now where it's like, I can't believe that that's not real. There was a guy on the Twitters, and his name, this is disgusting and hilarious all at the same time. He posted online, he made AI images using Midjourney of elected officials cheating on their spouses. And there's one in particular, I posted it to my Instagram, of of Ted Cruz shirtless and Donald Trump making out with him, and it's photorealistic. And so he didn't just do it that. He had Obama making out with a dude.
Yeah.
He had Joe Biden making out with a chick. And the whole thing, the whole premise of it was that AI is at a point right now where I can get in Midjourney right now and I can tell it, make some stuff up. That whole fake news thing, it's not just about fake news. We're going to find so many things now that people are going to be producing from an AI perspective that are going to be so convincing, undiscernible. Is that a word? Indiscernible?
Well, that's horrible because our threshold of reality is already so
that's
skewed.
Okay, so that's my point, right? Is the threshold is already screwed. I mean, listen to the first clip that I played in the morning. You've got a guy who was supposed to be a president of the United States doing that stuff on a microphone. You're like, I can't believe he did that. And then he made those, like, all the remarks that he said, everything he said, and then you find out things like he talked about having sex with his daughter. Where's there's no line anymore amongst what was unimaginable and imaginable. And so now things like him making out with Ted Cruz
gave us the unimaginable became reality.
It's crazy,
man.
And
so now with this AI stuff, I don't know. Are there disclaimers? Or is there anything that on there that says this isn't real? How do you police that?
He fantasized. He talked about what it might be like to have sex with his daughter. Remarks that once led former Chief of Staff John Kelly to remind the president, "Sir, that's your daughter you're discussing."
I'm curious to know her response to that.
It's just dad, silly dad. What? What do you like?
I don't know. I'm leaving that with the stuff that I don't want to believe.
Well. You don't want to believe it.
No, I don't. I think that somewhere it's a bad game of telephone, maybe. I don't know.
John Kelly, bad game of telephone.
No, it's just really
Multiple
hard to
people.
imagine that anyone would say those things. That's what I'm saying.
He publicly said stuff like that. Anyway, school lunches aren't the same these days. Brownsburg teacher license revoked after video shows she forced a 7-year-old special needs student to eat their own vomit. Yeah, in other news, the Seymour and 4 other educators were working at the Brownsburg Elementary School. They were criminally charged in April after investigators say they told a 7-year-old special needs student to eat his own vomit, and they failed to report the incident to staff.
Yikes.
Wow.
Where is that?
I believe it was in Indiana. Oh.
That tracks.
Yeah, that's dude. Imagine being a teacher these days.
No.
Nope. Yeah, it's Indiana. I can't. My heart goes out to him. Your cousin's a teacher. But, I can't imagine what it's like dealing with all these kids. Speaking of the education system, something interesting. Repealing affirmative action. We had a big roundtable discussion last night about affirmative action and what that means, because there's arguments on both sides. And my question, I invited someone to jump on this morning. I don't think he's seen my email yet, or he just doesn't want to dial in. That's okay. Yeah. But my question is, how does that affect people from the Rio Grande Valley? How is repealing affirmative action going to affect people? Because if you look at what IDEA's done, and they do that 99% college entrance, right, and all the other stuff. One of the things that they tout is the number of Ivy League schools that they can get into. Right. And so there's a split between people that affirmative action actually helps and people that it doesn't make a difference to. And the statistics are interesting. 50% of Hispanic graduates go into a trade school or a community college. So immediately 50% are not applying to universities like Yale, Princeton, Harvard, UCLA, wherever it is. They're not applying to schools.
You mean for your university, not just Ivy League?
Yeah, yes, but schools where the competition is so tough that one little point here or there is going to make a difference on them getting in or out. So There's an argument that was posted in the LA Times that basically said, yeah, but that only affects like the top 1% of the demographic of minorities that are applying to these universities, because they're the only ones that could get in anyway, because they're the only ones that are being coached to apply. Right. They're the only ones that can afford it. They're the only ones whose test scores go up there.
What we were talking about last night is that it goes back so much further than just applying and getting in based on your background. It's the counselors that are coaching you to help you get in, right? It's paying the applications. It's having the ability to even play at that field.
But part of that
we're not there yet.
No, but part of that also is if you're being encouraged, if you're saying shoot for the stars, reach for the stars. I love that commercial. Those stars commercials from the Rio Grande Valley. Anyway, If you're shooting for the stars as a young kid down here, and you've got counselors working in your school, they're going to look at this. And this is one of the things that was mentioned, what's happening in California, because California knocked affirmative action out a bunch of years back. So there's 9 states in total that have gotten rid of affirmative action when it comes to college admin, right? And it's been a quarter century since California banned race admissions at public universities. School officials say they have not been able to meet their diversity and equity goals of where they were before, despite more than $500 million spent on outreach on alternative admission standards. Part of that is because now that they know, well, you're not going to get the extra points for like, not point. You know what I mean?
And that's the other part, is that I genuinely don't know how this works.
So when it comes down to admissions,
right.
it's not a quota system, but they're trying to figure out, how do we make sure that we have a more diverse group of people that are coming into a university? So admissions looks at that, and they take into account race. And they say, you know what, this person is from a minority race. Let's give them a shot.
Opportunity.
But the problem is that in order just to get to that level alone, you have to have someone encouraging. You have to have someone helping you. You have to be able to pay for it. You have to be able to pay for the application. You have to do all these things. And now high school counselors are going to look at this and go, well, dude, if you don't have a chance, if you didn't have a chance before, you barely have a chance now. Scratch all those off your list. And what does that tell kids? Like, that's a problem. It's not even. It's not even.
Do you really feel like by removing affirmative action, counselors are really going to just say,
absolutely,
don't even bother,
don't even try. Absolutely. Teachers are already strung out on stress and having a difficult time as it is, and then places like Texas refuse to pay them more, and now they're having a hell of a time. And now it's like, oh, you want me to do all this extra? Dude, you don't have a chance. Like, you're not going to have a chance to get into these universities. And so the statistics are there, because in the 9 states where this happened, they've already come out and said, oh yeah, that absolutely, it went from 14% to less than 6% of Latinos being accepted into 4-year college programs in California when they removed affirmative action. Half. It cut it in half. 6%. Think about that's in a class of 100. Right. You're talking 6, and we're not talking classes of 100. We're talking a lot more. So now you've seen that all this is happening. The effect of race-conscious admissions was always limited to a relatively small number of students. For the vast majority of these schools, are not an option academically or financially. Now, here's the other thing behind it. This goes into the theory, or the not the conspiracy theory, but the theory of all of it. Half Americans, 52%, approve of the U.S. Supreme Court decision on restricting the use of race as a factor in college admissions. 32% disapprove, and 16% say they don't know. Now, of the 52% of Americans that approve, 75% of those are Republican. 26% are Democrats. Most white people, 60%. And Asian people, 58%, approve of the Supreme Court's decision to limit the use of race in college admissions, while only 25% of black people support the decision. Hispanic people are split, 40% approving, 40% disapproving. So it's interesting. It's interesting the people that love this. Oh, now that you've taken the ability for people to get in, to have special points where it's no longer just the academics involved, just the merit of it. Now there's something else. There's a lot of people who are saying, well, that levels the playing field. It's an interesting counterpoint.
But I think in order to level the playing field, you got to go way back. It's a lot of stuff. It's
kids
broadband, right? It's the ability to get to school.
Let's talk about broadband. Let's talk about broadband.
You know what I mean? Like lunch.
Hold on
so
one
much.
second. Let's back that up a little bit. So 2 things you mentioned. You mentioned broadband and lunch.
What?
What's up, Eli?
No, to go back on that subject.
Which one?
The equalizing the playing field.
Right.
Okay, equalizing the playing field.
It only works when some people have equipment and some people don't.
Okay, so Eli is saying a level playing field only works when people have equipment and some don't. Imagine football, where one team doesn't have helmets and shoulder pads. It also matters that people can get to the damn playing field in the first place.
Right.
So now if you have counselors and people in schools who are saying, don't even bother, mijo, it's not even worth it. Don't even bother, Drew. You're from South Texas. It's not gonna make a difference.
Check out these vocations.
Yeah, why don't you go do something that's gonna make your family money today? Yeah. So now you've taken this whole generation of people down here, and this is my problem with this whole affirmative action thing. It doesn't have anything, in my opinion, it doesn't have anything to do with with what the argument is. But there's so many terrible things that are going to happen because of it. And I'm going to give you another statistic before we talk about broadband, because I do want to talk about broadband. Nearly 10,000 babies, according to Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health researchers. Have you read Freakonomics? So at Freakonomics, they talk about the butterfly effect. And they talked about the decline in murder rates and all this other stuff, and how it directly correlates with Roe v. Wade. All right, so here's another time to stick a pin in the great American timeline. Nearly 10,000 babies were born in Texas alone last year due to the abortion ban, researchers estimate. Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health researchers examined data, created a model that the number of expected births without the ban was close to 9,800 live births between April 22nd and December 22nd, and they would not have happened if the ban had not been enacted. So this was an interesting thing that I was reading about, because these are 10,000 kids who now, and big broad assumptions here, these are 10,000 kids that are born into an environment where them being alive wasn't the first option.
Okay.
So if you're a parent, a single parent, a grandparent, if you're the person who raises these children, you're immediately, there's a little bit of resentment there, right? Like, how do you get past that? Where it's like, you know what? Now I'm stuck. So this is when you look at Freakonomics and you look at the first chapter of Freakonomics, and it talks, or was the first chapter names, or was it the abortion ban? But when you talk about a time that makes a difference, let's watch statistically what happens over the next couple of years, because hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we've learned our lessons from this, and hopefully we're a better society and culture than we were going from the 70s to the 2000s. But if we're not, now you have 10,000 kids that are out there that are alive because.
Well, we heard it last
they
night.
didn't have a choice.
We were having a conversation about foster care, and and what that really looks like, and
what it really
what
fair
it really
enough.
looks
What it
like.
really looks like from someone who's worked on the inside of this.
Right, and it's not nice
It's not
at
nice.
all. It's a job for a lot of people,
The
and they're
thing
not
that-
happy doing it, and they're doing it because it's income. And by default, you end up with these kids who are. I made the comment like, oh, so what are the chances? Where do they end up going? What do they end up doing? And he's like, if they end up being, exotic dancers, they're doing way better than, others. And that's
Yeah.
not to say for everybody. I'm
Because
not
I was
blanketing.
I was making a
but-
joke about, I was like, oh, they're going to be a stripper. And he was like, if they do that, that's amazing for them. He's like, the ones that I've seen that have grown up to
Right.
be dancers.
Because then they're providing for themselves.
They're providing for
doing-
themselves. They're
right.
taking their future into their own hands. They're doing
But
they're
that it's
doing
very,
something.
but that it's very rare that they go on to, go to university. They, go on to do other things. And again, I'm just speaking about the conversation we had last night. It's not a generalization. Not trying to offend anybody out there. More
Just
power
remember,
to people who
someone's
can.
going to take a sound clip of this and
So more power to
cancel
people
you.
who can, right? Foster children. I don't do it, right? So it's a hard job.
It's a difficult job, and the ones that make it to the point where they have individuals who are loving and caring enough. And we know some of them. I mean, it's my first son was adopted. I got to see that process from the inside. I'm not looking for stars or brownie points for saying that. I'm just saying that I've gotten to see the process in which it takes place, and it's not easy, and it takes money. It takes.
Well, that's adoption, though. We're talking about fostering.
Okay,
We're not talking about adoption. There's
but,
a huge
but
difference
what
there.
I'm saying is, even at that, it takes desire, it takes financial responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot of stuff to be able to foster a child or adopt a child or bring a child into your life and then raise them and take on all of the responsibility that goes with that. And
to tie this back in is that you would hope that you have that moment where you have your child, even though that might not have been your first, instinct, right, was to have it. You were looking to have an abortion. You can't have an abortion anymore. You have this child, and you would hope that the resentment isn't there. You would hope that you just end up falling into parenthood really well.
Do. You know how
and
you
that's
know
how that
people
goes.
are.
But yeah, that's all of it is really hard. Having a kid at 30 was really hard. I can't imagine having a kid younger than that.
But also, it's not even about the desire to have the child. Maybe they want the kid, but they don't maybe they're homeless.
Right. They
Maybe
can't
they're
afford it.
addicted to drugs. Maybe they know that they're not going to they're going to bring that child into a place in the world that is going to be a good spot for them. And now they're forced into doing that. So anyway, I thought that was interesting to see. There's no right or wrong in this situation. I don't feel there's no winning or losing. But then you talk about the whole, I think Monsignor said the other day, you talk about the whole life. You don't just talk about being pro-life during the point when the kid is in the womb. You talk about what are you doing to make sure that child is taken care of for their entire lifespan. Yeah, interesting, man. It can get real deep real quick. So here's what I do want to talk about broadband, and I want to talk about and I can get real fired up on this subject.
Okay, I'll try to kick you only once.
Before broadband, though.
Before broadband.
Before broadband.
If Jessica has an opinion, there's an entire gender that's disproportionately affected by the whole abortion issue.
There's one gender that's disproportionately affected by the whole gender issue. What gender would that be?
Whether it be career opportunities or the entitlement programs that are no longer going to be there because they're being slashed, so it's a double-edged sword of here's a kid that you're forced to have.
Here's a kid that you're forced to have. And by the way, we're taking away the school lunches. And by the way, we're not going to qualify you for Medicaid. And by the way, we're not going to qualify you for welfare. And by the way, go get a job or school programs.
Yeah, you're
And then what does the dad do?
leaves.
Well, that's if they know where the father is to begin with.
Right.
He's gone. And then who's stuck? Who's stuck with the kid? That's why it's important for women to get out the vote. Just saying.
Get out the vote and to take
Oh my God,
accountability for your body, right? That's the other thing as well, right? Like let's be a little bit more careful with ourselves.
Whoa, is it my turn to kick you under the table?
I'm just saying, like, shit, we don't have any options. Like, what are our options?
Well, I mean,
so I go out and I have a good time, and now I have this situation, and I don't have an option. So let's just be more careful with the things that we can control, because right now we don't have an option.
that was me giving you enough rope to hang yourself. That's what
Did
me
I
being.
hang myself there? No, I'm just saying. I mean,
you
shit, you take a bad situation. You're already in a bad situation. I don't know. I don't have an answer for this, but I know that right now I can't go get an abortion, right?
What if you were
So,
raped?
I'm not saying that we can't go into this. It's too much. But I'm just saying that for me,
if we're just saying,
if I go back and I relive my life, right? Like let's use Jessica as an example. And everybody who knows me is going to say, yes, absolutely, right? There are moments in my time that I should have been more careful. And that's the only thing that's the only thing that I can reflect on was I was not as careful with myself and I should have been. So lessons learned, right? So that's it. Carry the condoms in your purse. Take the contraceptive after. That's all we can do right now. Like, am I missing something, or is that the truth? Do we have another option?
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna speak for a different group of people here.
I'm not talking about the unfortunate, the crime stuff.
Sex workers.
Right. I'm not.
What
talking,
if you're raped?
I'm not talking about that.
What
I'm
if
talking about
you're drunk? What if you're incapacitated in some way, shape, or form, and you end up with a pregnancy, not by result of.
Okay, Drew, but I'm asking you the question. What do we do now? What's the option? There is none, right?
Regardless of reason, body autonomy.
Right.
I agree, but I agree. I'm one of those people that thinks that women should have
control
of their body.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying right now, what can we do?
Yeah.
The law is being turned back.
Right. So the only thing we can do is be conscious of what of us, our bodies, right? And I'm not talking about crime, because crime's going to happen, right? The rapes are going to happen. Those things are going to happen, and that's an unfortunate situation. But
control what you can.
But what you can control, right? Like if you're going out, you're going on a date, you're doing that, and you're conscious, right? Like you're aware of what you're doing. Don't wait for him to carry the condoms. Carry them yourself. Right? Don't put it on someone else to make sure your body's taken care of.
There you go. That's a good way to say it. Okay, I'm gonna move into broadband, unless I should put like a little buffer top.
No. Now I'm like sweaty and I want to go home. I'm like, why did I walk in here?
I want to hug you. You just got all worked up, man.
I did, because we don't have an option.
Speaking of safe sex,
Yeah. Yeah. A massive underground deposit of high-grade phosphate rock in Norway, pitched as the world's largest, is big enough to satisfy world demand for fertilizer, solar panel, and electric car batteries over the next 100 years.
What?
There's good news for Elon.
Yeah. It looks like they could use some freedom.
There you go. Take a little drink there. I'm trying to give you a little sorbet in between these conversations. You just... Hey, it's an issue, man.
No, but I mean, can I also give a shout out to some of the amazing organizations in the Rio Grande Valley that are doing incredible stuff?
I will.
When it comes to women.
Hold on. Yes, you can give a shout out. However, I want you to put into context something. You went to the Monica de la Cruz luncheon.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't go.
I did.
You went, and one of the yeah.
This hurt my heart a little bit.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
You don't have to talk about this if you don't want to. Because, guys, for anyone that's listening, for all 49 of you that downloaded yesterday, I appreciate that. Thanks. Smash subscribe and whatnot.
I know. I'm going to talk about it in a very general way.
Have an interesting relationship in the sense that I don't mind airing everything, and you absolutely mind everything. And
I don't mind everything.
In Hamilton, you're the bird.
Say less.
Smile more.
Yeah.
That's
yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you went to the Monica de la Cruz luncheon last week, and which is great. I'm happy that she finally came down here. I'm happy that she finally put herself in a public forum. I'm also happy that people asked her questions afterwards. Because from what I understand, getting the play-by-play.
Yes.
Tell me quickly what let's not get to Q&A because that's the good part.
We're not going to talk about
and I don't
Q&A.
care what she talked about because
okay, so here I'll tell you that.
Give me the review of the Monica de la Cruz luncheon with the McAllen Chamber of Commerce, which I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna pull.
You just cover it?
I'm not gonna pull punches on this one.
Yeah.
It looked like a campaign endorsement from McAllen Chamber of Commerce.
It did. I'll tell you that the initial flyer looked a little like, hey, what is this?
It looked like the McAllen Chamber of Commerce was putting on an event specifically for her, and I even went so far as to make sure to clarify online that none of the proceeds of that event went to her campaign. My concern was she was going to get up there because there's been a lot of back and forth about her down here, and we all know she did not win the Rio Grande Valley. The only reason she's in office is because she won everything up north. So she's standing at this luncheon in front of a bunch of people. Were there supporters or non-supporters there?
There were supporters there, absolutely, of course.
Was it more supporters or more non-supporters?
Probably more supporters, I would say, but nobody was wearing pins. It's not like you were partying the sea, and we were all mixed in. I was sitting with a whole group of people that I probably wouldn't have otherwise sat with. And that's okay. I went in there with...
Did Miggs walk in yet? Is he here?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Is he coming in?
No, I just wanted him to know who you were sitting with. That was great.
That's it.
Oh, is that Vicky or Miggs? Who do we have? Do we have a special guest this morning who just walked into the studio?
I don't hear anybody. But I'll tell you that...
And walked right back out.
So I walked into that lunch. I got invited to go to the lunch by a coworker. Was really excited. Like, oh, I got invited to something, right? New job, new stuff. And I felt like this was an extension to be included. And then I looked at the flyer and was like, maybe not. But before I could say no, I said, in order to grow, we have to be uncomfortable. And so I said, sure. I took my hesitation and smiled and said, yes, I'll go with you. Absolutely. Thank you for including me. Okay. I will 100% go.
So you rolled in there.
So we went. And
sat at a group. You saw a bunch of
I saw a bunch of people I know.
Friends.
I mean, yeah, it was comfortable in that sense that I could walk throughout the entire room. And I went to high school with more than half the people, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is you also if you don't know Jess and I, you know that we have friends on every
on both sides. And it wasn't
sides of the spectrum.
It wasn't a political rally, guys. It was a lunch, and it was I think intended to learn more about what she's been doing. And there are things to applaud as well. I can say that. She's the first, Latina congresswoman. She's from this area. You would hope that no matter what party she's on, she's going to help the people of the Rio Grande Valley, right? That's the objective. And it was wonderfully attended. There was she stuck to her talking points really well. She gave us a great rundown.
But it wasn't
what a congresswoman does, what her day to day looks like. Yeah, she did. And for those who don't know, right, it's very educational to know that you've got to sit on committees. You got to, she's got to play the role too. She's got to learn. And
I'm snarking over
I
here.
know, and I'm trying not to look at you
So she
and
didn't-
just
so
find
she-
the positive
so
in the
she
lunch
didn't-
that I was
so
in
she
because it
didn't
was
give you-
educational.
She didn't give you anything of good context, though.
No.
Do you know where she stands before the Q&A? Did she show where she stands? Did she
Before
make
the
you
Q&A.
feel like she represented you? Because she does. That's
She
your congresswoman.
She and yours as well.
I know.
She did the great thing, right? It was she spoke half English, half Spanish. She worked the room well. She was as long as she was reading her script and she stayed to that, she seemed very eloquent. You know, she could speak well as long as she was, looking.
But
at
then
her.
what happened?
It
Was there any Q&A?
There was. Channel 5 did a great job about asking some questions at the end, and she just answered them very blanketly. There should be legislation on that.
Did anybody else other than Channel 5 ask questions?
Yes,
Well,
we
hold on. I'm curious because if you read the news reports, they didn't talk about anybody else asking questions. And there was one.
There was one other question.
There was one. And
Coming
who-
from, I'm not going to, I don't know the gentleman's name and I don't want to, highlight what organization, but I will say that it was one of our LGBTQ community members that got up there and just wanted to know a very simple question. Like, do you support this community?
How'd she do?
Yeah, I mean, it was everybody. I felt like even the people sitting across from me that don't align with me politically were like, right?
What'd you say?
And because she did this, she said, well, I personally believe that there's two genders. And then she went down that route instead of just
Not talking genders.
right. We weren't talking genders, right? Like
I'm glad you picked up on that, Eli,
It was
because
a
that's the
simple.
thing.
All she had to say is, I support all members
Everyone
of
who,
my,
who live
right.
in my
Everybody
area.
in the Rio Grande Valley has a voice, right? She could have said something like that. It would have been enough. She could have smiled, and then that would have been that. But she didn't. And then she went. It was cringy. I was like, why not just say something kind?
Why not just say something kind?
Right.
I think that summarizes. Well, you know why?
And that made me.
Because that's not who she is.
Well, so.
Go look at her voting record.
But I don't. I mean,
This is the lady who
aside
beats
from,
her stepdaughter.
I don't know that. I do know that it was up until that point. It was just very informative. She did kind of let us know a little bit about where she was really strongly trying to work towards. But again, it was very generalized.
Did she mention the part where she sold her soul to the MAGA Republicans?
No,
She didn't mention that part.
She did not mention that part. I'm trying really hard to stay just very neutral.
Oh shit!
The part that was a little uncomfortable it wasn't even a little uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable. It made me upset. I had a reaction. It was bad when she couldn't just be kind at the end. That's all she needed to do. She had a room full of supporters, and all she needed to do was just say something kind, and she didn't.
Well, that's
Well, the politician answer would have been, it's irrelevant what I think. I'm here representing.
okay.
Right.
Yeah,
She could have said that. That would have been
did it
perfect.
show that she was a noob by not being able to
Yes,
handle a
because
question like that?
really somebody should have just said, "Hey, you have members of this community here. Chances are a question will be asked." I mean, somebody should have prepped her. That's just
Well,
she just
didn't-
wasn't prepared.
She didn't think there was anyone like that
She
in the Rio
backed
Grande
up.
Valley.
She really did back up, and she was just like, and it took her a second. She didn't just blurt out the first things that came out. It took her a second, and then she went off the deep end.
Oh, what are you gonna do? So along those notes, going off the deep end, I want to talk about broadband real quick because
Yeah.
something incredible happened this week. BEAD funding.
Bead?
BEAD. Yeah.
Bead.
So let me see here. The Texas Broadband Development Office, Jennifer Harris and the group helping out with Texas Broadband. There has been some great funding that has popped up, and $42.5 million. The Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program. Yeah, it's $42.45 billion to expand high-speed internet access by funding, planning, infrastructure, deployment, and adoption in all 50 states, Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin, that's funny, anyway, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and the Commonwealth. There are some really, really good things that are happening with broadband funding. And as you know, the city of FAR embarked on their project.
They did.
Yep. And
how's that going?
I'm not going to comment on that because I think that.
But why?
Listen, when that whole thing started, I was a huge fan, because I thought this is something that the city is doing great, and talked to the whole team over there,
right,
and said, what can I do to help? Because as you know, I've been doing this for a number of years across the entire United States and the world. And so when it came time to give back to something in the Rio Grande Valley, I was like, this is literally what I do.
This is what I do.
This is what I do. So I jumped in, feet first, and helped them out with the pilot project. And I was always of the impression that, you give it away for free. It's a great tool, because what's happened in the Rio Grande Valley is our broadband access it's not limited in subscribers because it's not available. It's limited because people can't afford it. They still can't afford it. And that's the thing. That's the big disconnect that some people who are not from here still don't understand.
Well, I would
is
argue
that $12
also,
or $15 or $20 or $25 a month is not affordable, because what happens is you're not talking about.
Well, it's a combination of not being able to afford it and education.
You're not talking about $20 a month sounds great to everybody until you don't have $20 a month. You only have $12, and you go, well, you know what? I'd rather go out with my wife this weekend and go drink a couple beers, or I'd rather put food on the table, or I'd rather do something else rather than pay this broadband bill.
Right.
And the kids can get free Wi-Fi anywhere. Forget it. And the problem is that the affordability issue has always been the number one issue in the Rio Grande Valley. It's always been the number one issue. Always, 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 always. It's not that it's not available. It's that people can't afford it. We can put Starlink anywhere in the Rio Grande Valley right now, anywhere, but it's $100 a month. No one can afford $100 a month. FAR runs fiber to everybody's houses. It's not that Spectrum wasn't already there. It's not that AT&T wasn't already there. It's not that there's 22 other service providers in this area that can cover them. It's that the people who need it the most are the people that can afford it the least. And so when you attach a fee to that, you're taking away the whole reason that a program like this can be successful. That was my issue with FAR. FAR's great, killer internet service, super fast internet service, everything's great, except it's still $25 a month or $50 a month or whatever it is. They still can't afford it. I like the city of McAllen's play, because they said, what can we do? When they came to, and in all fairness, right, they came to me and they said, what can we do to make sure that everybody has as much access as possible that doesn't cost them anything? The city took on the fees to do all of it, and the city provides it so that still in 22,000 households in the city of 16,000 households in McAllen have access to free internet, 100% free, that works on their phone and their tablets and their iPads and everything else. There's no fee associated with it. So this BEAD funding that's coming down is going to a lot of communities, and there's been special provisions. There's a bunch of lobbyists on the fiber side, Fiber Broadband Alliance, Fiber, all these other groups that are lobbying to make sure that the word fiber is specifically put in there. And that's a red flag in and of itself. Like, why are these guys trying so hard to make sure that it's fiber only? It's not because of the speed. It's because wireless gives you the availability to do all these incredible things. Private 5G, private LTE, all these mass coverage technologies can do so much more and still provide access. So I'm interested to see what happens with the BEAD funding, because if it is tied to fiber, let's look at the city of FAR. $40 million, más o menos, is the project cost in that, right? And they just said that they're, right now, as of today, I think it's like half the households. So they're like 9,000, 10,000 households that are passed. There's no numbers on how many people have subscribed, but let's say all 10,000 of those households have subscribed.
And is it free?
No.
Okay.
No. 40 million divided by 10,000. That's what the cost is to provide the service that's out there, right? So it's a lot of money. $40 million, if you gave me $40 million, I could produce a wireless network that could cover all 9,800 square miles of the Rio Grande Valley. We've done it. I've done it. I did it for less than half of that 20 years ago when we built Rioplex. I don't see it as a good investment to invest in fiber down to the end user. If we're trying to solve a problem, there's a way to solve a problem today that doesn't require that much money, while still building out your fiber network, building out the ability to connect that middle mile. So the BEAD funding is going to be interesting to watch, because it's a lot of money that's going out And in my opinion, if people don't watch that carefully, it's going to be misspent. And you're going to end up with fiber optic projects that are only halfway done, that aren't going to solve the problem of delivering broadband to the end user. They're going to do great for the city. The city's going to be connected. Their IT department's going to be connected. But that last mile from the water tower down to the end user, or from the streetlight down to the end user, that's the part that's going to suffer the most, because they're going to run out of funding before the broadband, before the fiber actually gets to your house.
Right.
They're going to run through their funding. And that's what the whole industry's saying. So it's interesting to see it was like $600 billion or something is what is needed in order to actively connect everyone, because they're only thinking about that middle mile infrastructure.
How come, why hasn't anyone made that connection yet that you can just blanket everybody with wireless?
They're trying. People are trying. The Wireless Internet Service Provider Association, the Fixed Wireless Association, there's all these groups out there going, no, you should do this, you should do this. They don't have the pockets.
It's a section of the industry that's lobbying to steer money.
Yeah, but
Right.
part of it also is that you've got AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile who are saying, no.
We need
Let
the
us
fiber.
do it. Let us do it. Let us provide the 5G. Look at all the 5G ads for Verizon and T-Mobile in the last year. You're seeing those ramp up. Look at the attack ads that they're launching against Spectrum and Charter and Cox and Comcast. They're launching a whole initiative to say, you don't need the wire. Come to us for the wireless. So that whole group of people isn't turning around saying, wireless is the best, because if they do that, then people will know that they can do it themselves. They want you to rely on them as a service provider. That's what they do. Anyway, so that's my rant on broadband.
Well, how does that affect us down here?
It affects all of us down here.
So are we getting more broadband?
It doesn't. More broadband doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is the question I got asked, a couple months ago. Vexus Broadband launches in the Rio Grande Valley. They launch fiber to the home service. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many providers come down here if they're
Because I can't connect to it anyway because I don't have.
They can't afford it.
I can't afford it.
Yeah. So bring in 100. We have 25 providers. There are 25 choices in Hidalgo County when it comes to providing internet access. 25. How many of those can you afford?
Why do more people keep coming down to lay more fiber?
Because they think they don't understand the affordability problems that we have in South Texas. They don't get it. They just don't understand. People don't understand what the hell a colonia is. They don't understand what truly being poor is. They don't understand the economics of the Rio Grande Valley. They think poor to them is a $300,000 house. Look at what happened with Hidalgo County. Hidalgo County, did this free Wi-Fi program, and the people that design the locations of where to place the Wi-Fi hotspots, these coverage areas, they put them in places that are up-and-coming huge neighborhoods. They put them in places where affordability is not the issue.
Where they didn't need it.
They're providing free Wi-Fi to people that can afford Spectrum. They're not providing free Wi-Fi in places where people can't afford. Indian Hills still doesn't have free internet access. Relampago still doesn't have free internet access, but North 29th does. There's all these other spots in McAllen and all over the Hidalgo County that have free Wi-Fi, but the people who need it the most, who can't afford it, they still don't have it. And what's the answer? Oh, let's run fiber to them. What? It doesn't make any sense to me. So how does it affect us? It affects with everything we've talked about this morning.
Yeah, it does. Right.
They don't
'Cause those
have
are the
access
kids who
to
don't
education.
have right.
They don't have access to healthcare. They don't have access to any of this because now they're relegated to looking at their phone, staring at their phone, and consuming all their information that way, instead of being able to actually interact with a digital community. Now, we've got 2 minutes left. Modifying sunlight could alter global weather patterns, disrupt food supplies, and lead to abrupt warming if the practice was widely deployed and then halted. So global warming. Lots of people believe, lots of people don't believe.
It's been so hot. That's my only.
That's not global warming.
Well,
That's
it's been hot. You said global warming. I'm warm. It's hot. It's weather.
That's weather. That's not global warming.
Whatever. It's hot outside.
All right. So what they're saying is that they can create, they being the government, a program of research into the scientific and societal implications
I'd
of
rather
solar
talk about the aliens.
Stop. Let me get there.
Fine.
A program of research into the scientific and societal implications of solar radiation modification would enable better informed decisions about the potential risks and benefits of SRM, the White House report said. What? White House cautiously opens the door to study blocking sun's rays to slow global warming.
Isn't that how the
Duh. Listen to this.
I'm confused.
Put on your tinfoil hats, ladies and gentlemen, because the White House is reviewing a report about what you can do to block rays from the sun coming onto Earth. You ready? Any conspiracy theorist knows about Project HARP. Ooh.
I don't know about Project HARP.
Let's go. God, where's Miguel, man? Project HARP. Okay. High frequency active oral research program has long been the center of widespread speculation. The program is designed to what? Eli, do you remember? Control the weather, or worse, cloud seeding, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about cloud seeding in the White House. Modifying sunlight could alter global weather patterns. A few plausible ways to limit the amount of sunlight that hits Earth, all of which could have significant drawbacks. One method is to multiply the amount of aerosols in the stratosphere to reflect the sun's rays away from the planet. Others include increasing cloud cover over the oceans or reducing the amount of high-flying cirrus clouds. Leo Crayola, we're talking chemtrails, dog. Chemtrails and cloud seeding. This is a moment, man. This is a moment for conspiracy theorists for the last 50 years who've been saying chemtrails are a thing. Cloud seeding is a thing. HARP is a thing.
I don't know what y'all are talking
about. The
about.
south end. The government using high-frequency antennas and chemicals in the atmosphere to produce clouds. Okay? Why would you want to do it?
It's one of the older conspiracy theories.
It's an old one. What if in the middle of this Ukraine-Russia war, what if we could make it rain the entire time on just the Russian troops? What benefit would that give Ukraine? Imagine we could control weather patterns around the world. Imagine we could create earthquakes. This is Project HARP, right? That's what the theory is that this is what HARP is.
I feel like y'all are watching way too many movies.
You don't know.
What is happening right now?
This is a thing.
I don't believe any of it. The problem is the government's been confirming a lot of things that the conspiracy theory community has.
That's right. That's right. Just in the last 5 years.
And what are the aliens delivering the water for the rain clouds? I mean, what's next?
Have you seen the wreckage? Have you seen the thing about the wreckage?
What
about
wreckage?
They found wreckage at the bottom of the ocean that's consistent with unidentified aircraft.
No, but you know what I did come across? I came
dude.
across a little TikTok video of these crazy looking owls that stand up that look like aliens. And so maybe that's what everyone's been seeing, these owls.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fun
Drew in the morning.
for Monday, July 3rd. That's all the time that we care to give you this morning.
Yeah,
but subscribe to our Patreon or OnlyFans.
What?
Or my Feet Finder account, and we'll give you some more dirty content. Anyway, from all of us to all of you, have a wonderful, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Go watch Last of the Mohicans or Hamilton and enjoy.
Or Braveheart. Braveheart's another great one.
What the fuck? That's Scottish, dude.
Oh, whatever. It's good.
We're talking,
The Patriot. Sorry. Mel Gibson, right?
We're talking
Yeah,
America
okay.
in here.
Sorry.
We're talking. I need the
The
little
Patriot.
eagle sound. Oh.
You need the Independence Day speech.
I do. But the only speech I have from a great American leader.
I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
Let me know how that works out for you, buddy. Anyway, that being said, let's go home.
Yeah.
You can't day drink if you don't start in the morning. Y'all have a wonderful 4th of July.
This is music.
Enjoy America, everybody.